Good morning, everybody. So I wanted to come with this video real quick because I was searching social media this morning, and um, I just want to talk about this. Z Meek Mill and more asked New York lawmakers to sign into law bill that prevents rap lyrics from being used at trial. And it's crazy because I was just watching a video on YouTube with the rapper Casanova, and I was watching a video um with him in it, and Mano, and it was Joe Budden podcast. Just listening to Casanova, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. Excuse me, where he was on this podcast and he was just talking and he was overpowering everybody. He was like talking louder than everybody and everything like that. And Mano has said that a lot of times the loudest person in the group is the weakest. This is no judgment to, I don't know the man personally, but I do know that um, watching a lot of his videos, he does glorify crime. Excuse me. In a lot of his videos, he told on himself. So right now he's currently serving jail time. You know what I'm saying? The feds caught up with him and he gave them a lot of proof. He gave them a lot of stuff to go off of because he said it out of his own mouth. Um, but that leads me to think about the youth, even about some of these older rappers who rapped about so many things that they never really experienced themselves. And so a lot of them don't want to go to jail. A lot of them have never been or experienced a lot of stuff that they rapping about. My thing is that why it's like why pollute and tear down your own community? Because this is what rap music does. It's almost like crack in the hood. It's detrimental. It's on a different frequency than back in the day when we used to listen to Tupac and Biggie and different things like that, because there was a balance. Now everything is demon time, shoot 'em up, kill 'em up, and we had decent R&B music coming out the same time. Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, you know what I'm saying? I used to listen to Mint Condition. We had Raphael Sadiq. We had Lauryn Hill. There was some balance. But now the youth have Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, WAP, and just the whorish music, and there's no balance. It's just straight. And it's like when you see them saying, "Oh, well, we want to fight for the lyrics not to be used against them in court." What about fighting for your neighborhood? What about fighting for the generation to be raised better, healthier mindsets, to have better goals in life, not to tear down your community for gain? How about starting programs, teaching them how to become entrepreneurs and giving back to the community in that way? We're not saying that you have to come to the hood and hand them money. We're not saying that you have to come to the hood and drop off cars and buy homes for people, but you can show them how without destroying their environment, without destroying a generation of children, without polluting and poisoning your own community. How about that? How about that? Or how about let's stop rapping those type of lyrics? How about we stop? How about we decide This is not building our community, and it's self-destructive. How about that? It's simple. It's simple because crime and being a killer and a stick-up kid and a lobby boy is being glorified. Because on social media, that's who it looks like is winning. How about that? They go hard for the wrong things. If you really want to see a community grow and flourish, you would change what seeds are being deposited in the community. Because as we know, if they're watered enough with the wrong thing, they'll grow. And if they're watered enough with the right thing, it'll grow. But what we're seeing is a harvest of the negativity that was planted in the community. And now the community is being terrorized by demonic activity because of the frequency that is being pushed out to the youth. Why not let's change the narrative? Why not let's put the energy out there that we want to receive back? You have mothers getting killed. You have pregnant women being shot, babies being shot. And there's no alarms being rang. The only alarms that are being rang is the alarms when there's police brutality. Or, you know, Black Lives Matter. Do they really? Do they really? Are we as a people paying attention to when these groups are active? Are we paying attention to the narrative that is being pushed in our community? You have a lot of paid activists that are in it for their benefits. And see, we on social media, we're on the news, and we're being bamboozled. People are being bamboozled into thinking this is the way. But we have to use common sense and use our discernment, understand that no, this is not right. This is not working. You know, I used to complain about the village not being active. You know, it takes a village. I used to be complain about the village not being active, the grandparents, the great grandparents. But you know what? They're scared. They're scared of the youth because these youth, a lot of them, because of the music that they are listening to, it is infiltrate. It is demonic, and it is doing something to their spirits. You got 14-year-olds running out here with guns and shooting and they don't know what they doing, so they shooting, and you got innocent bystanders and babies and little kids and women being shot. I saw a video with some kids running the street. It's broad daylight and they just shooting, kids getting out of school, people walking like it's normal. I'm confused. We are watching our community self-destruct because we are too busy with personal gain. We are too busy being in competition with our brothers, our sisters, our neighbors, our family members. It takes knowledge and it takes wisdom. I never read the book or never read anything really too far in depth about the Willie Lynch letter. But I was listening to Papa Duck the other day. He made a video about it. And he was talking about it and what it did to us as a people. So I just ordered the book because I really wanted to read it in depth. I also have a book that I'm reading by Dr. Clarence Walker. I read this book a couple of times. I'm going to read it again. Breaking Strongholds in African American Families. Because it stems back from the Bible. It stems back from the Bible days. Okay? And it stems back to when the division came in. You know what I'm saying? And how the family structure is broken down. You know what I'm saying? And fear, anger, so many things. You know? But we have to want more for our own. We have to want more for our own people. We have to want more. Those of us who are raising kids in the communities and trying to do our best, and then they're being influenced by rap lyrics and things like that, and then they go outside and they're trying to be something that they're not. And we move around one another. We move into a black community around one another, whether it's the city, wherever it is, and we're scared of one another. But the black man or the white man will come in and he'll move on your block where there's shooters, killers, and everything else. They'll move in the middle of that because they know that we are not a threat to them. We are a threat to each other because we're constantly trying to cut each other down. And they'll buy the homes in your community and they'll buy your block and they'll take things away from you because you're too busy fighting amongst one another instead of coming together and trying to make things work for your own community. And then when it's snatched from up under you because they'll move in there, they'll dig it up, they'll buy it at a low price, they're establishing generational wealth for their children, for their families. And they fix the home up. They make it so nice. Now you're priced out, and now you got to start all over again. And they have taken from up under you what would have benefited your children, the generational wealth. But we, as a people, we're so, it's an inferiority complex. But then you have these rappers and people that y'all worship that know they don't listen. They don't care about us. If they cared about the black community, the lyrics would be changed. They wouldn't support all this shoot 'em up, bang bang, kill 'em up. They have the power, a platform to change the narrative, but because they work for an agenda, a system that is meant to tear us down, and we support it because we're drawn in by the beats and the music. The enemy knows what he's doing. We have to wake up as a people and we have to fight for what we know is right because there's a lot of fronting and faking going on. Half of these people that are puppets, you don't get to see the puppet master. The puppet master pays them their little checks, keeps them fed, and keeps a roof over their head, but they're slaves to the puppet master because there's somebody with their hand up their back controlling them and how and what they feed their community. And if they cared anything about their community, it would be bigger than going to lawmakers for them not to use the lyrics. You wouldn't have to do that if they wasn't rapping the lyrics to begin with. There's so many videos out there saying we have to wake up as a people and recognize who we are. Who we are as a people is what's important. So at the end of the day, once you know better, you do better. I think everybody pretty much knows better, but there's a weakness in the flesh because our spirits aren't built up strong enough to know who we are as a people. Do your reading, do your studying. Knowledge is power. I had to tell my son this. He's 18 years old and I'm 42. His father's 43. And it's like you can't tell them nothing. You feed them, you clothe them, you take care of them. But when it comes down to the wisdom and the knowledge, they reject it. And they only want to come to you for what they want to come to you for. And here you are fighting because you know it's like, listen, because we love you, we're going to pump it into you. But the people out on the street don't care about you. The rappers that you listen to don't care about you. Drill music. What do you think drill means? They're trying to drill this thing into your head that you a gangster and you this and you that. And you living in mommy and daddy's basement and you don't have a dollar to your name. Parents paying for everything and you don't want wisdom. You don't want the knowledge. You don't want nobody to tell you anything because you've been here. You know it all. And I had to explain to my son, I said, do you realize there's a lot of people that's dead? There's a lot of dead youth because they chose not to listen to their parents or the people that were giving them wisdom. They chose to go against the ones who's trying to help them. That says, hey, that's tap you on your shoulder. The village ain't there no more. It's a lot on us parents. The village is not there no more. There's a lot on parents now that we take on. And us as individuals, we have a choice. We have a choice that says, this is what it's going to be, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you don't want to listen, then I'm not going to talk. There's verses in the Bible that says, don't cast your pearls among swine. But we have a responsibility as parents to try to instill the knowledge into the kids while they're young, because when they're adults, these are the adults that the community has to deal with. And I don't want nobody from my household terrorizing my community. And so people like Z Meek Mill and all them, they get their money and they move away, far away from the community because they don't want to live around the riffraff. They don't want to be taunted and haunted and hearing the screams of in the street of the mothers who have to pick up their dead child off the ground because they chose to follow listen to the lyrics and be spellbound by the music, because it's not doing nothing but casting spells. So if you're a parent like me, you constantly have to plead the blood against those spirits. And sometimes I'm dog tired. Emotionally, physically, mentally, I work. My husband works. We have 7 children. We're trying to push out into the world. And 3 of them are adults. And we're still trying to help them. We're exhausted because we're human beings as individuals as well. Does that help me? Does that help the single mom that's out there trying to raise her kids? And because of she's trying to make a way, she has to work 1, 2, and 3 jobs and she can't be around her kids. So now they're being influenced by the lobby boys and the stick up kids. This is the society we live in. To the point where it's like, don't even support those people. Meek Mill, Jay-Z, and all them. Because they kids, Jim Jones, all them different people, they kids is not living and the stuff that they rap about and what they terrorize in the neighborhoods and the hoods with, what they plant and the seeds that they plant, they remove their kids from that. Because they kids got trust funds and nice big homes and on the yachts with their friends and living overseas or whatever. And here your kids don't even get to go to Great Adventures or Dorney Park or even take a flight. Some kids in the hood have never been on a plane or a flight someplace else. Some of them have never left the hood. And they don't even see it in their future because what they're growing up around. There is no gain into listening to the lyrics and listening to these people because they don't care about what's on the other side of the music. They don't care what's on the other side of. I see kids I know on social media and family members and stuff, and kids talking about they from the trenches and they don't know nothing about the trenches because they lived in the suburbs all their life and was handed everything by their parents, and they talking about they was from the trenches. They don't know what it is to be from no trenches. But it's easy to fake jacks on social media until you're faced with the real deal. Till a cop is coming to knock at your door. Or somebody trying to rob you because you was being flashy. Take the wisdom and understanding and know that we need to Stop supporting these artists. We do. We really got to put our foot down because they don't care nothing about us or ours. And that's all I'm going to say. Y'all have a blessed day.